What's going on, everybody? Payneblade back here again from server 1 representing IC. And guys, I don't know if you remember this, but in the past I used to do testing for teams, right? Like, for example, I did testing for tank teams, crowd control teams, etc. But one team I never had a chance to possibly do because there just weren't enough good units out wasn't full AOE team. So what I wanted to do this time around, guys, is create a full AOE team. And if you don't know what AOE stands for, guys, that's area of effect, or it's pretty much attacking everybody, right? Every unit, not a single target. It's a full area of effect, damage dealing jutsu to everybody. So what I wanted to do today is actually go through that. Now that we have a lot of good AOE characters, I wanted to see how viable a full AOE team would be in Arena. So I'm going to go ahead and show you guys the team I had gone and created and what you guys can do if you want to try this out yourselves in terms of substitutes for the teams that I have set up here, okay? So here's my AOE team. Alright, so we have Naruto Rin here, we have Mama Sakura, and we have Sasori. Now this is, of course, is for AOE confusion, and we have all the debuffs, damage increase, rate reduction, damage rate reduction down. We have attack down, plus AOE stun, plus a heal, plus damage rate reduction up for me. And then also, of course, the status suppression, status effect rate up, and also all the debuffs that he provides, including his AOE nuke and poison. So this team here is meant to nuke and stun at the same time and confuse. So a perfect variation of what you want an AOE team to look like. Down here we have the full nuke team. So we have Kirin here for damage rate reduction down, AOE stun, attack up, and damage increase rate up for all three of these guys. We have Itachi for attack up and crit up and nuking, of course, and then we have Deidara for crit rate and crit damage up and nuking. So this is the ultimate AOE team for damage, right? This is meant to pretty much annihilate everything. And then the bottom team here, guys, I have a very similar setup to up top here. I have AOE Confuse plus attack up and crit up for Sarada UR. And then I have Deidara here, kind of similar to Mama Sakura does in terms of AOE stun, but he brings defense down with 100% confusion. Plus he offers the crit up to everybody and crit damage up and crit suppression up. And then you have, of course, Jiraiya here, who gives you the same thing, crit suppression, guard rate after 3 people die, and he gives you the AOE stun and burn. So this is what I'm going to go with, guys. So we're going to test this out. Now before I do that, I want to show you guys real quick different options you guys can actually use as AOE teams if you guys don't have these units, right? So a couple really other good AOE units out there right now are as follows. Okay, so a lot of people know when Kakazu came out, for example, he was insanely good. So that has not changed. This man here is definitely worth having on your team, and he would pretty much sit in a nuke team. So if you don't have Itachi, for example, or Deidara, he would be the one sitting in front of Rebusite Kirin, because you still want that damage rate reduction down. And what he provides you is 50% more damage if the opponent has 50% HP or more, and he stacks his damage increase rate up quite a lot. So he's a fantastic AOE user. Another one, and a lot of people crap on him, is Papa Sasuke. A lot of people know him as Trash Can Sasuke. Still not the greatest unit, probably one of the worst URs, but I will say this: if he stays alive and a lot of your units are dying, he's going to start one-shotting a lot of people. So he does have that Deidara-esque aspect to him, where he increases attack and chakra and just constantly does more damage as allies die, while Deidara does more crit damage. Obviously he does more attack power, so there's a little bit of a difference, and he does raise his own chakra. So he's not bad for a battery if you want to toss him in an AoE, but overall, not the greatest unit. Sarada here is actually not bad as well too. She does provide damage rate reduction on all D units, also does defense down on her skill too, and also gives you attack up and damage increase rate up. So not bad for an AoE unit burn, but there are much better. But she's a decent buffer and debuffer if you're fighting units like I just mentioned a second ago. Alright. And then as we go down the list, guys, here, you kind of start dwindling down. The only other one that's really, really good here is Toby. I don't have him up, but he could pretty much replace Mama Sakura, or he could replace Deidara as a solid T-unit stunner with burn. So definitely with the power creep numbers, he's worth having for sure. If you need an additional stun and you're brand new, you could try using Teaisnt. She does offer you guard suppression and attack up for the entire all the allies, and she does have a decent AOE stun at 15%, just like anybody else. And then Tamari, if you're desperate, I mean really desperate for AOE, you could toss her in there. Again, not the greatest, probably one of the worst characters there to have, but if you have a lot of A units, she does buff them with her trait, so you can do a lot more damage to A units. Mitsuki's another one with heavy wound, but he at least offers you a stun, and he has defense down on the opponents and attack down with his LB2, so much better in my opinion than Tamari from a kit perspective, but not as good as the others I just mentioned. And then of course there is Conan here, who's pretty much a miniature Toby in terms of her debuffs, but she doesn't stun, so she's pretty useless in that regard. And then Mama Sakura, of course, if you need a little bit of healing and a little bit of tanking, she'll provide you that, and she has pretty decent buffs, so not a bad AOE unit. And then the last one on the list is going to be Choji, just in case you need tribe gauge up to do your specials before your opponent, which is actually not a bad idea for the AOE team. He would be the one you'd want to use for that. So what I want to do, guys, real quick, is go ahead and show you this team again, and then pit them into the arena against some opponents, and let's just see how we fare. Alright guys, so what I did here is we went ahead and fought 3 opponents. I fought AJ for Days, Luck, and Hito. So we're going to go ahead and look at these two beginning fights just to show you how this works. Now the key element here for this is you need to be faster than your opponent, and quite honestly the driving factor for these fights is going to be Deidara. Now the reason why he's so important here is because with this team you kind of lack a little bit in the stun department, and there's not as much damage in terms of one-shotting characters, right? Like there you go, Tachi just died there. You want to make sure that you have if your characters are dying, Deidara just becomes more powerful, and I'm talking about Deidara Sublime, by the way. So the more characters that you lose, the stronger he becomes, and then he just ends up one-shotting everything practically. So that's kind of the driving factor for this fight. Now here's the thing, if I put Sai on this team would be pretty much unstoppable. But I wanted to stick true to a full AoE team without Sai, because not everybody has Sai. But if you did have Sai in this, look at that, 3 stuns, everyone dies here. It's crazy. So here we go. Now you see, like, we've lost 4 characters, now Sublime's gonna go. Let's just see how much damage output we get from Sublime. Okay, so, okay, never mind. They didn't even use them. Crazy NPC, I swear. Let's see what Naruto does here. So Naruto's also a really good addition to this, guys, because he does bring Confused to the table, and now I have 2 Confused users in 2 different cells, right? I've got Sarada in one, and I've got Naruto in the other. So let's take a quick look and see how much damage we pull off with this co-op. And that's the thing, like I was mentioning, the more people you lose, the more Sublime will hit. So if you don't have Sublime, and here's the thing, this is probably pretty timely because I'm showing you Deidara and Sublime in a battle, and their EF is out, right? So you saw Kieran do about 260k there. Let's see how much Sublime does. So you guys can see the kind of damage he pulls off right about now. Look at that. 1.3 million. 1.3 million, guys. So if you, like, you know, the EF is out, so like if you're looking to get him, this is the perfect time to do it, because you just saw what kind of damage he pulled off. Especially as my units keep dying, he just keeps getting better, right? So there you go, 240k again. Now you get to see Sublime again do the damage. So last time we did 1.2, 1.3 million, right? So here we go again. There you go, not as much because there's obviously 2D units, so he did 560k to each unit there. So there's one fight. Okay, so I want to show you the next one now. So let's go to the one with Luck. So Sublime, and again, this is not a promotional thing for the EF banner, but I mean it kind of ends up being that because you can see how strong he is. Now fighting against people who have Kakashi and all those units that do instant jutsu will be a little tougher, guys, because you don't really have an instant jutsu character with AoE characters, but you can usually one-shot them pretty easily. So there's a bad stun on my end. Sasori takes quite a bit of the damage there. So this is going to cause a lot of issues, obviously, because you're going to see that my rotation's messed up and their tribe is going to be built faster. So Sarada might die here. Nope. Okay, we're good. All right, so they're probably gonna end up. So now I've got a complete messed up rotation. So let's see how the comeback happens here. Of course, they don't use the red unit. That would have been probably better off. Okay, so now if they use Deidara, or sorry, Sasori, we'll get back into proper rotation, but I doubt that's gonna happen. Yeah, I figured as much. Okay, so let's see if we get a stun off. As you can see, my tribe gauge is nowhere near built. But yeah, no stun there, so we're gonna get hit pretty hard. They might kill Sasori if they attack him. Yeah, Sasori's gonna die here. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Okay. Well, that puts a little bit of rotation back into play. So now Deidara got a little stronger there, right? So we know this. This is gonna be a tribe on their end. Let's see if Itachi can take everybody out. So this is the beauty of pure AOE teams. No, I didn't kill anybody. Oh well, Sasori died there. There we go. Now his Deidara is going to hurt a lot here. Actually, maybe not, because I've only killed one of his characters, so this shouldn't kill everybody. This should just do enough damage to survive. Maybe Itachi will die because it's an A unit hitting him. Nope, nobody died there. Okay, good. So that wasn't too bad, guys. So now here's the thing with AoE, right? I'm chipping down at everyone's health one at a time. Like, not one at a time, I'm hitting them all at the same time. So the beauty of AoE is you don't really have to settle for one target only. You're going to be hitting everybody and chipping at them away. So that's the thing with an all AoE team. They're very deadly for this reason. There you go. See? Look at that. And got it confused. And if I had to, if I could have got a stun there. Now you're going to see these three here do their damage. Now this three here isn't meant to do damage. They're actually meant to kind of, stir the pot in terms of status effects. So I've got a confuse, a stun, a burn, and another stun. And I've got a defense down with Deidara. So let's see how this works out. Watch the frame for the opponents. You'll see defense down happen right after this. Oh, actually, everyone's probably gonna die here. There you go. Look how lethal that is, guys. So again, AoE team really does work. It really does. Like throwing Sai in here, like I said, would have really destroyed everybody. But that's the beauty of a full AoE team. Now here's the concept. The concept behind this is you've got to be faster than your opponent. Okay, and you've got to have the proper build. Like you need a good appropriate amount of stuns, a good appropriate amount of buffs, and a good enough appropriate amount of status effects. Like you want a stun in there, you want to have yourself have attack up and crit up, and you want characters like Deidara when your allies die, they get better, right? Because that you're gonna lose characters in this because you don't have instant jutsu and you don't have Sai. If we had Sai, it'd be a different story. I don't think it's required as much because you'll be doing jutsus more often, but I just wanted to show you how it works out with them if you don't have Sai. Now the thing is, again, remember speed is so important, guys, for this. You always want to go before your opponent, so you can't AoE and burst them before they have a chance to attack and kill any of your characters. So if you're slower, this team may not work for you quite as well. But there you go, guys. I hope you enjoyed the showcase. That is one heck of a team. Pretty much destroys everything. So I would call this a nuclear team, essentially. Just blows everything up. If you guys have these characters, put them together, test it out, see how you like it. Send me a comment on the section and let me know if you enjoy that team. If you have questions about what else to replace, I did go over some of the units you can toss in. We can discuss that further in the comment section. So guys, enjoy the rest of your day. Hope you enjoyed this. And Minato's 3-star got released, guys. So hopefully we'll get the rest of him coming in the next 7 days. Alright guys, it's Payne. Have a great day. Talk to you soon.